With the recent Corona video sparking a community-wide discussion on NetEase's usage of AI and IDV in-game and out-of-game, it is important to be informed on what exactly is going on with the situation. I've already made a couple of posts about this topic on Tumblr yesterday, but I decided to make a video as well to summarize the situation a bit and provide a bit more of an informative angle. So, for a quick background, on the night of April 8th, the official English IDV Twitter account and YouTube account, along with the official Japanese YouTube account, posted the official cinematic for the Corona Global Finals, which featured the usage of AI. One particular shot of Joseph caught the attention of the community as looking pretty AI generated. This, along with other previous cases where the developers for the game have been accused of AI, led to the straw breaking the camel's back. A wave of players expressing their discontent and concerns over the AI situation is currently taking social media by storm. So what about the response and the backlash? Across the likes of Twitter, Reddit, and even in-game global chat and other social media sites, the blatant and rather shameless usage of AI and IDV has become the center of conversation in these spaces. Most, from what I've seen personally, are expressing their anger and worries over the game's future. On Twitter, IDV users are urging others to email NetEase over their concerns and utilize the recent event survey to voice their complaints. Many users are also leaving comments on the official IDV English and Japanese Twitter accounts expressing their disappointment over the usage of AI. Some major content creators for IDV are also publicly expressing their distaste and disappointment, such as Z's, a popular IDV content creator on YouTube, expressing his own disappointment. He goes on to say in another tweet, he will most likely be making changes to how he plays the game and how he makes content moving forward. And while there are overwhelming majority of IDV players who are vocalizing their concerns on English speakers, there are some Japanese, Korean, Thai players on Twitter and some Chinese players on Xiaohongshu also expressing their displeasure. Posts on the IDV subreddit and Twitter are being made lamenting over how the design process and older artworks are made with more love and human ingenuity in comparison to the much now plainer design sheets that we're getting, and more simpler design process that appears to be plaguing the game recently. These two fits, for instance, were full gold only about 6 months apart, and the more detailed and creative background separate design process for Fallen Star stand in stark contrast to Disassociation, which we got just a couple of days ago, with the plain background. Even more disappointing when the latter is literally the art cosmetic. Overall, the response has been overwhelmingly negative, and rightfully so. But the usage of AI by NetEase is nothing new. NetEase have never been shy to express their liking in using AI for their video games. In a news release published back in February of this year, NetEase announced the financial results of their fourth quarter and fiscal year for 2025. The net revenue was an impressive RMB 27.5 billion, or $233.7 million in US dollars, which is an increase of 3% compared with the same quarter of 2024. In IDV5's case, according to App Magic, an online toolkit used for mobile app market research, the monthly revenue the game brings is about $10 million US dollars. But while that does sound grand, it clearly does not stop them in using part of that budget for AI. In the financial news report, under the heading of fourth quarter 2025 and recent operational highlights, the very first bullet point states, and you probably have to pause here. And in addition, at the end of that segment, Mr. William Ding, CEO and Director of NetEase, is quoted as saying this, which you will also have to pause here. But I will also link the news report down below in the description box. So NetEase is by no means shy about showcasing the usage of AI. In fact, they appear rather proud of it and continuously seem to be seeking new ways in implementing them in their games. Paradoxically, and almost ignorantly, while they acknowledge their global player base by aiming to deliver innovative experiences, evidently they did not stop to think that global players are deeply averse to seeing AI in very creative spaces, as many cannot see AI and creative innovation sharing the same space. Just last month, at GDC Festival of Gaming, a gathering of the B2B games industry, NetEase had two separate sessions for themselves that discussed how they successfully implemented AI in their game development, production, and TikTok creation. Unlike other companies who steer very well clear of associating themselves with AI, and if they do use it, they adamantly refuse to use it for the creative process, letting actual humans do that part, NetEase is the exact opposite. This is perhaps due to the more open acceptance of using AI in places like China and Japan as opposed to the United States, Canada, or anywhere considered the West. Yet NetEase has become a more global company thanks to the likes of IDV and its most recent massive success, Marvel Rivals. In order to not draw away the international player base, it is a must that they have to either readjust their strategies or be more transparent about their specific practices in their games to the Western players. But I find it ironic that the day we receive our first art series cosmetic is also the day they release a cover video using AI. Granted, as I mentioned before, NetEase and Joker Studio using AI isn't new, but obviously there was a hope the usage of it would die down or at least not be so blatant. But I think this cover video from the other night is really setting the community on fire, as I have seen plenty of people on social media complain heavily on the AI. That's why I say it's tragically ironic that the debut of a cosmetic series literally titled Art and celebrating modern art, which they themselves say is less appreciated compared to pre-modern art movements, is coinciding with this AI debacle. I seriously don't understand it. Here's what they say about the art series in the livestream from last month.
Wow, what a unique and avant-garde design. The pickaxe Full Squad is holding looks a bit familiar, but please forgive me, my knowledge of art isn't extensive, and I can't quite place its origin right away.
This costume design pays homage to the painting delicate attention by the Russian master of abstract art, Kandinsky.
Now that you mention it, the costume uses a lot of points, lines, and planes, common elements of abstract art, and these are brilliantly combined with the Full Squad's hollow, floating board instruction.
A perfect answer. Through this costume series, we hope to sublight, share knowledge of modern art movements, challenging common stereotypes about modern art, and at the same time, offer a diverse aesthetic and experience, allowing everyone to find their own personal connection with the different artistic styles.
It also breaks free from the constraints of the historical setting, creating a fresh and new visual experience. I sincerely hope everyone will like this brand new series we're launching, and I look forward to more costumes based on different art styles in the future.
It honestly comes across as hypocritical and disappointing. It's clear a lot of thought was put into this, so why? An artist was able to make moving and enrapturing art through simple lines and shapes, and yet the IDV dev team is put to shame for not being able to do even better fantastic art in this day and age without AI. Kandinsky and other artists would find that laughable, probably. Disclaimer, I don't know anything about Kandinsky, but I just assume he would. But it's true that I don't really like modern art as much as they say. Impressionism and post-impressionism is usually my bread and butter, because I really like Van Gogh, for instance. But I'm willing to learn about modern art and thought this was a cool concept and reason to introduce such a series. Also, I have to kind of be interested because my boy Florian is in the series as well. But due to this, I want to believe that the egregious and shameless use of AI is more on the execs and those on the upper echelon of the company and not the artists who probably want to do everything through human hands. Heck, I even was thinking how this art series felt more of a passion project for some artists on the team, because it's discounted A tiers given to pretty popular characters, so even if they don't do well, it will still kind of do well, you know? For instance, Joseph and Norton, who we all know have players that will buy everything for them, although Florian is kind of a special case as he's not that popular at all, so I seriously wonder why they chose him, but it is what it is. Anyways, I said most of what I wanted to say. I was feeling quite drained from this, as I do care a lot for this game, as it has delivered on the story, the characters, and until recently, the art front. I may be overreacting, but I really can't deny the beauty and impact human beings can create that AI could never do. I don't know why that's so difficult to comprehend, but big corporations will never learn, I guess. So what's next? What can we do? I personally feel slightly sick at seeing my phase be subjected to becoming essentially AI slop, and ironically a storyline based on how a computer-created deity, an AI, has generated this false reality that our dear survivors worked so hard to unveil the truth to the masses. Whoever came up with the storyline for Conan was given the gift of Apollo because this is coming to a head now in reality. Or perhaps it should serve as a warning. While it is offered to experience this alongside my 1-year anniversary of playing the game, I feel there is some poetic justice to be had here as life is imitating art. Just like the ones in Code 9 who painstakingly planned and carried out a daring attempt to unmask the truths of an AI-generated society and power, we too can try to do so as well. Many have already emailed NetEase to express their feelings towards the AI usage, and I encourage others to do the same. I understand emotions might be on a high, but I do also insist on polite but firm language in that case when writing out your email to them. We must put our best foot forward and show we must be taken seriously. I'll leave the email addresses on screen here, along with their contact form on their website. In addition, you can also try your hand at emailing Joker Studio. Their email is here. I'll be putting all links in the description, by the way, so if you don't want to pause or anything, I got you. It appears as if Joker Studio has largely forgotten these conversations though, but they are the ones who started IDV in the first place, I believe, and I have a hand on the more creative aspects of the game. Again, I believe. I still am planning on doing more research on Joker Studio. It's just a bit hard to figure out exactly what they do from their website alone. Though I also do believe that NetEase still has more of a say in what is actually put into the final product of the game, but it's still worth contacting Joker Studio. Along with that, you can also utilize the recent survey to put in your concerns, which I'll also link below. Another way you can support the fight against AI in IDV is by encouraging and supporting the artists behind the great pieces of art we've gotten over the years. I recently found a post on who the artist was behind the Valentine's Day White Day art. There's also the artist for Composer's Phantom Sale, which is what I actually use my free S tier on. I also put the artist who did the 7th anniversary countdown artwork last year, along with this beautiful artwork of Wendy. Admittedly though, I have no idea if commenting on a Twitter post complaining about the AI usage in the game would do anything, especially since I have long since seen players do that for Patricia's Valentine's Day skin and paint issues to no avail. If only the IDV community moved in the way the JoJo community did when it came to Netflix's terrible decision to broadcast only one episode of the long-awaited JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Still Bar 1, which actually resulted in Netflix folding to reveal they would produce weekly episodes in the fall of this year, then if IDV players could do that, they could possibly stand a chance. Granted, it may have originally been part of Netflix's plan to release it that way, but transparency from the start would have avoided this whole mess. Still, there does seem to be progress happening, as I've seen on Twitter some responses by those who can pass along feedback directly to NetEase, so fingers crossed there. And lastly, there's the good old boycott you can do. I know there are some considering dropping the game or not spending any more money on it until things are fixed. Companies usually do respond to threats on their wallets. I just worry it won't be enough of a dent considering most of their revenue still comes from Chinese players followed by Japanese players. I guess we can try and see. Regardless, I hope this partially helped inform those who needed or wanted it and helped be a call to action to those who also want to try and save this game. As I've said before, I basically just got here and I don't want to leave. I really don't want to return to Dead by Daylight. I want to continue to enjoy the story and the artwork and the characters and even stupidly throw my money at this game for pretty pixels. But a change needs to be made. As for those who are in a similar boat as me, your feelings are very valid. I also understand that those who want to step back from the game for a bit or outright drop it. You do what makes you the most comfortable, as it's your life, your money, your time, and you can do with it as you please. For those who want to stick around, that's great, and I hope we can see things improve before long. Continue to do what you can to support the anti-AI movement and IDV, and perhaps you see AI get knocked out of IDV soon enough. One can only hope and pray. Anyways, thank you for watching. I know I don't speak the best, but I really appreciate if you watched to the end of this video. I tried to keep it short and simple, and the editing is probably not the best because I tried to get this out kind of quickly. This is more like audio for those who want to listen to my posts on Tumblr over simply reading. I totally get that. But I hope you guys have a good day, night, afternoon, wherever you are, and ciao for now. Bye bye.